my loves. It's your girl Foxy here, and thanks for tuning in. So today I have got a tutorial for you guys how to achieve this look for your kids' birthdays. Now, a lot of people were asking how I came up with the look, how I put it all together. I am here to give you all of that, okay? All the tips, all the do's and don'ts, just from trial and error. This was the third event that I did this look for, or something similar to this. So I think I would say I've made a lot of mistakes enough to say, look, this is the best way to do it. Now let's get into it. Now, first place to start is the arch. A lot of people will spend hundreds and thousands on just hiring all the stuff. You don't need to do that. I made these two arches myself. So I have a video in a preview. I'll attach it here. In the past, when I did the baby shower, where I actually made the arch. Now, this is what I would say. Do not use MDF. Don't use MDF, especially anything over 9 mil. One, MDF is heavy, guys, and mine is about, I think it's 15 mil, 12 or 15 mil. The issue with that is it's hard to transport. When I did the baby shower, I had to hire a whole trailer just to get it to the venue. Now, this time around, I didn't have to because my client didn't live far away. So I was just gonna I put it on top of my car and we went with it like that. Now, to avoid all that, I would say use plywood. That is my advice. Use plywood, but still the same concept of making it is the same as what I showed in the video there. And then the half arch was just the top piece that I took off the MDF board. I had cut that out and just done a half arch. Initially, I used that to be to take on the accent color of the event. Now, this time around, I got my daughter to do a little painting on it with pastel colors, and she enjoyed doing that. She was a big help, honestly. I was doing the catering and the decorations for this particular event, so having her do that was a heaven sent. Now, would I do that for every event moving forward? No. Of course not. Initially, the half arch was painted. I think I had painted it blue. Now, for this particular color, obviously, we went with the pastel colors. Moving on, my tip would be get some sort of vinyl or something that will stick on. They come in different colors. Even book covers, you know, the kids' book covers, you could use that as well. Something you can stick on and peel off. It'll be more cost effective. Honestly, it's not going to take that much of your time. So it's good you can use that as an option, especially if you are into the business of decorating. If you're doing multiple events, then obviously you'd have to switch it up to prevent you from having to buy or make multiple arches. Now, the stands. My husband and I, my husband had an idea before. We had brackets, wooden brackets, and that's why we had to transport the arch on a trailer, using a trailer, because having the brackets alone, just attached there and leaning just to keep it upright, that consumes a lot of space. Whereas if you use plywood, you can cut it in half, you can just sort of fold it and close it up. I know a lot of people do that, or just have foldable brackets at the back. It's lighter and it's quicker to set up. My husband grabbed just a piece of timber and we cut notches, the thickness of the actual arch itself, and we just slotted it in and it held it up. Now, that was a brilliant idea because we didn't have to go screwing anything or undoing it or hiring a trailer, all of that. It was nice and easy to set up. Now, how do I do the garland? So, there's a bit of a cheat trick here. I find this on Amazon. This tape, it's a garland tape. It looks like this and it has the notches in between. Now, what I do is I attach this, depending on how you want your garland to flow, but this particular one that I did, it started at the very top. So you grab this before you attach any balloons. You grab this and you attach it onto you can use tape to do this. You can use anything. But in this particular case, because my backdrop is thick, I just use nails. I nail it in there at the very top just to secure it and keep it in place. put a nail in there or tape, depending on what you're using. Another one lower and another one as you go, just to keep it in place. When you're finished with your event, you pop those balloons and you take your tape with you. I have about 5 of these and I haven't touched the other 4. I use this for, I think I've done more events. I think I've done like 5 events. So what this does is it enables you to hook the balloons in and push it in. So I'll give you an example. I'll show you a demonstration with one of these. So I've got one balloon there. So you fit it through the notch, the larger notch, and you slide it to the small one so it secures it in place. So you fit through, you push through the bit that you have tied the balloon with, the knot. You fit the knot through. And once that's done, you slide it up to the little notch. So it will look like that, a little something like this. And that will stay in place. I put this on, the tape on, then I start feeding the balloons through. My advice with the balloons, to get that look of the bubbles and, smaller ones and big ones and all that, what you do is you get 3 sizes. These are 30 centimeter balloons, guys. You blow them up in 3 sizes. Now this would be my large. This is the max, the biggest size it'll get. This is my medium. This one is my small. Then you grab your smalls, because these are the ones that help you achieve that look. You have the smalls and you tie 2 together like what I've done now. Then you try another 2 together. So you have 4 small balloons, and as you're blowing them so they don't get larger at the top and smaller at the bottom, just keep pressing down on them like that. Just give a quick squeeze. So that's another tip, guys, to get like a nice rounded look. As you inflate it, you squeeze at the top. Now, another thing, the reason why I said inflate, not just blow it, because don't attempt to blow all these balloons using your mouth, okay? You will faint at some point or another. So get yourself these are blowers or balloon inflators, so you don't have to put your mouth on all the balloons. Now you can get, I had a few assistants, so I bought a few of these and had them do this. The best way to do it is to get an electric pump. That is like the easiest way. And the electric pump has 2 slots. I think some of them come with 2 slots, so you can inflate 2 balloons at a time. I didn't have the electric one, I had the manual one that you just push. Now you get these 2, you put it together and you twist. So I want these 2 together on the other side. So you push it through 1 time and then you twist these 2 together 2 times like that. And that's gonna stay like this. Then I use double-sided tape. I blow up a few of these, I inflate a few of them, link them together like this, and I leave them for later. But to attach them to the other balloons, just to fill up the spaces, I use double-sided tape. But we'll hold on to these, put these aside. Then you want to go grab your large balloons. Now your large balloons, you want to put them in, feed them into the loop, and you just keep repeating as you go. You will miss some in between. It's okay to miss it out. It depends on how much space you have. But what helps me is I put 1 large one, 2 medium ones, 1 large, 2 medium, 1 large, 2 medium, and you keep going like that. Now when you alternate like that, it'll give you a beautiful effect, and all you have to do now is fill in the gaps. Wherever you see the gaps, you bring these in, you put double-sided tape, and you just shove it in there, and it'll stay. Mine, the ones for all the events I've done, they stay in place, they stay put all day. And guys, that is how I achieved that particular look. A lot of questions that I get is, how do I do the pillar, the column? I'm happy to show that in a different video. But yes, that is pretty much it. The lower you get, the more larger balloons you add. And this is something that I didn't do in this particular case because I knew we were going to have a lot of kids around. You don't want the balloons to be a trip hazard. You don't want them touching the ground. If it was an indoor event, I would have done that. But because it was outdoors and I wasn't sure with the concreting or if it was going to be in the grass area, I decided I wasn't going to put too many balloons at the bottom, even though the inspiration warranted one. Because the inspiration, the garland is supposed to look like the balloons are popping and draping down nicely, you know, like a waterfall effect. But yes, those would be my tips, you guys. Now, I did say from the previous video, I did say that I had a few balloons hanging from the ceiling. Now, how did I achieve that look? Alright guys, so to achieve the helium balloon, dangling frills, you know, balloons on the ceiling look, I wanted to use helium. I got the helium gas, I got the balloons, everything was great. But when it came to the day, my friend's daughter and I were trying to get the helium in so that the balloons could, you know, rise to the ceiling and stay there. One went up and then it popped immediately. So I don't know if it's the brand that I bought or we were not using the right technique. Whichever way, we didn't end up doing that. We just ended up getting double-sided tape, grabbing some of the string that we got, tying it on there, cutting it, and taping them to the ceiling. And we still got away with the same effect. Other than that, guys, the event was a blast. We enjoyed it. My clients were happy. They were beyond happy. And everything went to plan. I would advise a little trick that I'll give you guys, especially when you're organizing something that's mainly family, you know, where you know, for example, when we did this particular event, at the very end, I gave out the party packs. Usually party packs are left for when people leave, you know, some of the guests when they left, yes, we gave them party packs. Now, party packs would be a good idea to also give, especially if it's like a family event, to give it while the kids are still there. And include something that is interactive. I included those little mini water guns in there and the kids were having a blast. They absolutely loved spraying themselves. I think it got so chaotic. All the kids were running in the house, getting each other in the bouncy castle. It was just a blast. So my advice is, I know party packs, people like to add lollies and, you know, little trinkets here and there. But another cool idea is get something that's interactive so it becomes an activity for the kids while they're there, you know, just to finish it off. Check your weather, okay? If it's going to be a warm day, this is just more on the catering side. If it's going to be an extra warm day like it was before, buy icy poles. I bought 2 packs of icy poles and the kids went through it immediately. As soon as they finished eating, had dessert, played around, and I noticed, oh gosh, it's piping hot. Get them, roll all those icy poles out, and they enjoyed it and it was great. It was just a fantastic, successful event. I answered all your questions, and if you're planning a party, I hope this was informative. Oh yeah, just before I forget, that LED light, the happy birthday one I got from Kmart also, that one I hung it diagonally using nails as well. So I guess this is the bonus of using MDF, and that you can, you know, shove a nail in it and it's okay, it'll hold up, especially because of the thickness. But if you're using plywood or you've hired an arch or a metal one, you can get those M3 hooks and use them instead. So that's another useful tip. Even with the actual garland tape, you can use the M3 hooks as well. Well guys, I hope this video was informative. I hope I answered all your questions and learned from my mistakes, and I hope your event is successful. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. Ciao!